And we're back with game number 2 between Mousesports and Navi. Navi off to a beautiful, convincing victory after a game 1 performance. And Mousesports game 2 though will not give away Lifestealer, Magnus, and Lone Druid, as this is the exact same response yesterday from Synderen as well. Ban the Lone Druid, pick up the Lifestealer, and give away the Magnus. So we'll see whether it's going to work out. They didn't win that game 2 yesterday either. That's why they're in the loser bracket now. I am Luminous of BTS, and of course joining me alongside is none other than Merlini. So again, game 1 down to the draft, nothing too much to talk about. Game 2, some key differences here, and Puck, I love the pickup here. You talked about yesterday, maybe a little bit too early pickup as a hero, but Fado plays it very well. So let's see how well he could play it here against Dendi today.
A lot of teams pick Puck over Queen of Pain, but Queen of Pain is just kind of fallen out of favor. But I still think she's definitely a better option, and you usually can just wait until the second phase if you want to pick Queen of Pain or Puck. Queen of Pain has a lot more burst, and I think slightly better split push because his AoE is a little bit more spammable, and Puck has a lot more survivability. So you can really just tailor it to whatever you need in mid. If you're not planning on rotating mid a lot, you probably want Puck for more survivability, but if you plan on ganking a lot or rotating to the side lanes as a mid hero, then Queen of Pain often is the pickup of choice for her massive amounts of burst when she hits level 7. So Navi will actually take Magnus, Keeper of the Light, and Nature's Prophet as their first 3, while Mousesports will take Lifestealer, Rubik, and Puck.
Yeah, one thing that you get from Puck, and you don't really get from a Queen of Pain, is the ability to jump in and kind of initiate before the Magnus does. I think that's a key point that you pointed out yesterday when we cast it together. And Fado's been doing just that. So we'll see he'll be able to disrupt Dendi as much as possible. Dendi seemed unfazed last game. 10-minute Blink Dagger, some insane RPs, and the game was really put out of contention from that first 5-man wipe on the bot lane, which they got 2 towers off of. So let's see how Puck as well as Mousesports is going to recover. And the second ban phase, it's going to be Mousesports that's going to be banning out their own PL, their own Dragon Knight, and their own Alchemist. Generally, if you're Mousesports, you enjoy these bans going against you, but they got the Lifestealer, and that's most likely going to be the kind of the carry role here. So I guess they're banning everything else.
And Navi has the potential for a very, very strong triple lane. They have Keeper of the Light, one of the strongest triple lane heroes, and just opens up a lot of options, and especially if you're in that defensive position in the save lane. But Mousesports does have Lifestealer. Lifestealer, again, one of the best safe lane farmers in the triple lane. He's just ridiculously hard to kill, and unless you have a Bane to shut down his early farm, or maybe even Razor to steal his damage, usually he just has his way in lane and just does whatever he likes, whether it be getting kills or just complete free farm for 10-15 minutes.
Yep. So I mean, the other thing that Lifestealer kind of very powerful is he's so difficult to kill. The supports could roam off to do whatever the gank is, and even if he's left in the lane against tier 3 enemy heroes, you pop a rage, you get home free. And that's why Lifestealer's first pickup for many reasons. But back to Mousesports side, they're going to pick up themselves a Chen. I think usually... Who plays... I think Potts plays a Chen, so let's see if Zizal is going to have the micro here and play Chen for Mousesports. Definitely, and it's going to really allow them to do a ton of offense, but is it really the best pickup against Keeper of Light? Blinding Light Illuminate is going to weaken these Chen creeps, but more importantly, Nature's Prophet can pop the Midas as a free kill anytime he wants. So I'm not sure whether Chen is going to be 100% effective here.
It might be some sort of a deny pick, just because we know Navi is very, very good with Chen, and I mean, it has some synergy with Lifestealer too. You can always get almost a full HP heal if you try and infest one of your own creeps, and it will apply early pressure that Mouse so desperately needs. A constant problem that we've seen with Mouse is, yeah, sure, they get free from early game, but then they just get destroyed in like the 10 to 20 minute mark. And Chen is very, very good at applying pressure in all 3 lanes in the early game, and just give that Mousesports a little bit of boost that they need to get to the mid and late game.
Yeah, and if you get that early lead, Chen's one of the few supports that allow you to just go into the Roshan pit because of the army, be able to provide more aura for more damage output, as well as the very needed tank ability in the early game. So, but we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here. Let's see Mousesports if they can get that early game, and it really comes down to what Navi pickups it, because so far the heroes are very good, very well suited to the early game, and it also comes down to what kind of carry they want to pick up. The mid is settled, the long lane settled. Navi looking for another support as well as their last carry, and it seems like Mousesports looking for the long lane himself. Clockwork is a hero that could be picked up, and it's okay, I want to say, against Magnus.
Clock's been banned.
Oh, sorry. for missing that one. Yeah, the last ban you have for Navi. Seems like we're gonna see a support Windrunner from Navi, although you never know. Could be something else.
Yeah, they could be doing old school dual lane with Keeper Light plus whatever it may be. Maybe Shaker I've seen a couple of times, and Nature's probably jungle, but no, Windrunner's pretty good versus Lifestealer. I mean, you can usually just Windrun out of the open wounds, or just Windrun TP, and you're safe from most situations as long as there's not too many heroes. And we see Gyrocopter, the last hero from Mouse, so it looks like a little bit unusual lanes. As you said, they do need an offlaner, so either they're just going to completely ditch their offlane, or just do an aggressive triple lane with Gyrocopter safe.
Or aggressive triple lane with Lifestealer safe. I think that's a possibility as well. But the one that you said, higher chance, I think. So most likely we're going to see Lifestealer and Rubik open it up on the top lane. Chen stay in their own jungle, grab a creep, and then rotate up top. Because it's always very dangerous to basically walk your Chen into the enemy jungle, wait till the 30-second for the big creeps to spawn. You might be dead then. So it's a very risky maneuver. Let's see how Mouseworth's going to finagle their laning stage. Back to Navi, though. They're looking for that carry, I imagine. There's a ton of options left, and a ton of options is going to be good against Gyro and Lifestealer. And it's going to be Juggernaut, so looking to do some early game pushing. Juggernaut as a hero, I feel like he is very, very goal dependent, and you think he's going to have the kind of room to find the early goal, especially against kind of the early aggression that the Mouseport heroes could kind of poise?
Yeah, I think so, especially if they don't put Lifestealer in that triple lane. If it's just the Chen and the Rubik and Gyrocopter, they don't really have too good defensive abilities versus Spin plus whatever disables they have. I think he should be okay. It just depends on, well, maybe against his aggressive try. I think he should have an okay time. I mean, he's not going to get complete free farm, but he'll get his items.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to die, though. That's the key thing, because Spin will actually debuff anything that the Radiant could throw at them at this given moment. Until you get, for example, a Blink Dagger on Fada to Blink Green Rift, I don't really think they could kill that Juggernaut. So perhaps that's why he's the last pick. But let's quickly introduce Mouseport. They are on the Radiant. They're down one game in this best of 3 series, and if they lose this game, they're out of the WePlay tournament altogether. Koifa will be going up top here with the Lifestealer. On the mid lane is going to be Fada playing the puck. And it's going to be a Suicide Lifestealer lane as Zizal on the bot with Chen. We have Synderen playing Rubik, and it's going to be Black getting some complete free farm on the Gyrocopter. Started with the Wraith Band first. I like that quite a bit. And don't get me wrong here, Lifestealer on the long lane is actually not that bad. He could actually harass off support pretty easily, I want to say, and with Rage, he shouldn't die too easily either.
Yeah, I think he should be immune to most of the stuff. If he sees the shackle coming, he should have sufficient reaction time in order to dodge it. And I think this is good start for Mouse. Not Lifestealer shouldn't die, and most of the heroes on bottom lane will have free reign. So an Invis spawns on bottom for Black, who has pulled a Tango, and we see Funnick on the other side of the map pulled 2 Clarities from Puppey. So yeah, just trying to ensure that little early game lead.
Yeah, very standard pooling on Nature's Prophet. If you get 2 Clarity pooled, you generally find yourself a 6-minute minus, which for a hero like Nature's Prophet who doesn't do much early game, that's pretty good. And of course, Funnick will be playing the Nature's Prophet. Magnus will be handled by Dendi once again on the mid lane. We do see Puppey just dropping a Sanctuary on that Keeper of Light. On the top, it's going to be Havos playing the Juggernaut, and where's their last member? Kuroki is going to be playing Windrunner. So speaking of Windrunner, she's one of the few support that has a great last-sitting animation, and more importantly, a harassing animation. So Koifa, even though he could chase off most supports, he's going to have a little bit trouble here with Windrunner.
Yeah, he does have that Stealth Shield though, so Kuroki is trying to exchange early blows with him, but not working well at all. And Kuroki is forced to resort to creep pulling. He looks like he stacks, but there are no wards on the side of Mouse right now, so the supports will have free reign of their jungle on the side of Team Navi.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the Sentry Wars hope to accomplish here. They just dropped one here, didn't even scout for anything, and then he just ran off. Maybe, I think this Sentry War is supposed to actually scout out the smoke gank that's going to be coming out from the mid lane. Because when you have 0 hero that Navi has on the bot, it really allows the support of Mouseport to do whatever the hell they want. And one of the things that he can do is smoke gank mid lane with Chen Creep. And if they move down this path, Dendi should have a head notice. I don't see any other reason dropping a Sentry like that.
Yeah, and even with the smoke though, without a Observer Ward down there, it's still going to be fairly difficult for them to see. If they do want to gank middle, it's going to be very, very important for Synderen to try and lift them up during the skewer. If you lift him up as he's traveling, you can interrupt the full distance and usually just score an easy kill that way, because without skewer, Magnus is very, very easy to kill.
Yeah, or you need a Raining Rift on top as he's low HP. So we'll see whether this difficult coordinated gank's gonna come. It's gonna come from this particular direction. And Dendi, luckily, will be checking top room right there. He's gonna find himself a double damage. And Fada, more importantly, is out of mana right now. So he's only got one spell. And to be honest, well, he doesn't even have Raining Rift either, so it doesn't matter at this point. So the orb's gonna have to hit on top, like you said, and the lift is gonna have to come mid skewer. So let's see if they can have that coordination. It's a tough game to get, and oh well, they're getting into position right now.
Guess what's happening?
Yeah, here it comes. The orb's gonna come on top, and then there's a level 1 Raining Rift. There's a net skewer. Nothing just yet. There's a skewer, but there's a lift. Like you talked about, Cinderin. Great play. Gonna give him that first blood.
Yeah, really, really important there for Cinderin to wait there. So really good execution by him.
Time for everything.
Yeah, just showing that patience. Puppey will sap a little bit of EXP on the mid lane and wait till Dendi to come back. But taking away that kill from Dendi is what they had in mind last game, finally making it work this game. And Puck off to a beautiful start. It's going to have boots, bottle, as well as some 1-200 gold in the bank. And of course, let's look at how Koifa's doing top lane. Koifa's got level 3. And he's only a level behind against Havos. And Havos might be a little bit trouble. He's going to spin away the open wounds. You don't expect him to die there as expected. But the thing is, Koifa is getting a ton more experience than, for example, that Nature's Prophet is getting. Nature's Prophet is level 3.5, but the gold intake from Koifa a little bit more impressive.
Yeah, Davi is making very good use of stacking their jungle right now, stacking the big camp. I saw them chain pool and stack this camp earlier with Puppey, but the supports are quite under level. Kuro just maybe 80% into level 2, and Puppey just like barely into level 2. So the supports on the side of Team Navi are hurting pretty badly compared to Mouse. We see Cinderin already 3.5 and Chen also 3.5.
Yeah, getting that early level 6 on Rubik, fairly effective, fairly important as well. And of course, Black maybe starting to look to put a little bit of pressure on that tower. He's got max Black Cannon, only a single level Rocket Barrage, and a point into stats as well. So just gearing up for the powerful mid game. Generally, what do you expect this build here for Black? Normally, I want to say he's going to go for somewhat of a greedy farming build, but it seems like he's been going for more team fire oriented with drums and BKB of sorts lately.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that's where Mouse lacks, is like their early mid game. Their late game is usually secured by Black just farming up a storm, but they almost never get there. So it just really, I think it's a really good start for him to get treads and then turn that into a drums probably later, just because they don't really need Midas, just because they never seem to get to late game. So Cinder will pick off, or will look for Funnick right now.
Yeah, and they are going to get the pick off here with Fada coming in. Fada gets the last hit there with the kill as well. 800 gold with the boots pick up. If he wants to really rush for a quick blink, he definitely can. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter destroys the bot tower himself, even gets the last hit. He's got 1k gold. You talked about the possibility of Mouseboard just exploding out of the gates. They're doing just that, and that's exactly what you need to do against Na'Vi.
Yeah, I mean, they've been very systematically taking control of the map. First, it was just moving up to mid lane and then creeping towards top to the jungle, and soon they're going to have control of the dire jungle as when Chen gets a few more creeps. Soon he gets level 5, I suspect he will try and take top. Actually, he's top there right now, so looks like they're trying to secure some farm for Koikva. Koikva has 900 gold, boots, and stout shield, so he's not looking too bad even for this sacrificial life stealer offlane. Looks like he probably will pick up phase boost. Yep, he has his phase boost right now.
And suddenly he could actually just kill, for example, Puppey if he's a little bit out of position. So the supports of Na'Vi definitely cannot underestimate Koifa anymore in this stage of the game. And really, there is sort of a weak early game from the supports of Na'Vi. They can't really roam and gank the mid lane, for example. What are you really going to do with a Illuminate as well as a Power Shot? It's not going to get you kills. Both both solo mid's gonna be checking for runes. Then he's gonna find himself a haste, and he's going straight up top. If you find a double kill right here, that's gonna be huge for his team. Zhao, I think he's gonna be the target here. Skewer backwards gonna be an easy kill into an RP, for example. No, nice rage being for Koifa, and it looks like they want to fight this. Funix is low. They got a Raining Rift. That one, nice Raining Rift from Fada, but he can't get the last set against Funnick. Oh, Funnick will live with about 10 HP. It was close.
Yeah, I thought Koifa was going to go in there for the kill, but did not want to get RP'd at all.
Yeah, the early levels of Raining Rift has such a low silence duration. In fact, no, he's actually leveling Raining Rift. I think that's a smart adjustment. The damage-wise is exactly the same. The orbs is a lot more spammable, and it's a lot easier to harass and last hit creeps with it. But against a melee hero on the mid lane against Indy, I think level 1 with Raining Rift, perhaps is a smarter thing to do.
Guess what's happening.
And against Juggernaut too, if he can manage to get him. Juggernaut very, very fragile if silenced before he can get his spells off. But it looks like Dendi will actually be going treads, so no 10-minute arcane blink that we saw last game.
Yeah, what a big difference when the first blood happened in the other direction, and Fada, because of that, allowed to roam the map more aggressively, more effectively. Puck is going to be finishing his strats, and looks like to apply a little bit more pressure. Also, he's got 2 teleport scroll up, so any dive being done by Na'Vi will be severely punished, or at least attempted to be punished by Fada. The game is now slowing down a tiny bit, but I don't think Mousesports is missing a beat. You can see that Black already have a Helm of Dominator. This is what I would expect a little bit more of Black. Even though they have Chen to stack pool, we did see 4 Chen creeps the other day. I think when Alliance got a Helm on PA. And it was very, very effective. Let's see if he's going to be using this one to stack his own jungle a little bit. Or he's like, you know what, I'll stack it later. I'm going to work on this tier 2. And tier 2 is already down to about half HP.
So Fada pinging on Dendi in middle, and there is a Root closely behind.
Yeah, if they get a Coil and a Raining Rift combo, Orb is down for a couple more seconds. They're going to go for it. Dendi's going to skewer out, and he's going to get stunned. Yeah, and that's going to be it. I'm a little bit surprised that the Coil was dropped, because skewer gives you such an easy way to go such a far distance. So even though the coil brick and the stun was applied, it really didn't do too much.
Guess what's happening to
Yep, but he will find himself in invisibility rune up top, and Mal's just doing very, very well and just making very good use of their Chen and the Rubik double roam. Difference in XP earn around 1,000 in favor of Mouse, and 2,200 about in favor of Golden, but that may change very shortly with this T2 tower and bottom being very low.
Yeah, for me though, the next objective for Mouseboard is actually picking up that Blink Dagger, and suddenly the entire map becomes wide open. Generally, these supports that like to stay very far back, like Keeper of Light and Windrunner, they're going to get jumped upon by Raining Rift, and they're absolutely dead. And of course, that also gives you the Lifestealer Infest Bombs, and that's going to really make these Na'Vi heroes very squishy and easy to kill.
Yeah, and once they get Blink, that opens the possibility for Nake's Infest Bombs too, which is really difficult to deal with, especially without any Blinks on the side of Na'Vi right now.
Na'Vi seems to be slowing down as well. What do you think exactly Na'Vi should be doing? They're a little bit down in gold and kills and a tower or two, but they're definitely by no means out of it. What are they waiting for?
I think they should just blow a couple ults to get a kill, like RP and Omni Slash. That's almost a certain kill. We haven't seen Omni Slash used yet. Oh, it looks like he's in big trouble middle.
Yeah, he's got Invis Rune, but there's a Sentry War on the ground, and of course AoE spell will hit through that Invis. So very nicely played by Magnus, faking the RP, dodging the, baiting out the phase, and then coming right through. So meanwhile though, looks like a little bit more pressure on that tier 2. Juggernaut gets a solo kill on Koifa up top. I'm very surprised at that happening. The tower kill is going to happen on the bot, and Kuroki going to be forced to Windrunner away.
Yeah, so finally Na'Vi picking up a couple of kills. They are now on top of the kill chart with 3 for Na'Vi and 2 for Mouse. So their ultimates are down, and they are a little bit vulnerable to pushes into the position if Keeper Light is not at the right place at the right time. It looks like he has 1 observer ward on him and 2 observer wards in his inventory, so I think he will be able to scout out wherever Mouse decides to put some pressure on, especially now that the bottom lane is now open to free farm.
Yeah, these are some deep wards. I really like this little bit war here dropping the Ancients, because one thing that Mouseboard somewhat weak at yesterday we saw is stacking the Ancients themselves, and they really got took advantage upon by Alliance, for example. Wards is going to drop down, prevent Na'Vi to do the same here in this game. But for me, I think Na'Vi in a beautiful position now, because sure, they're leading in terms of 1 kill, but more importantly, like, those kills are on the more important heroes for Mouseboard. They got a kill on Fada, they got a kill on Koifa, and those are kind of the 2 playmakers for the team. And now, they're going to be somewhat shut down. Puck halfway to his blink, and again, that's going to be the key item pickup for Mouseboard.
Denny's also very close to his, recovering very nicely after that early first blood. 1,500 gold in his inventory, as well as Tread's Magic Stick bottle and TP scroll, so he's looking pretty good. Havos looks like he's going to move speed build with Phase and Drums coming to him on that courier right now.
Yeah, a completely standard build on Havos, although Havos is going to have to blow a spin to get out of here. He's waiting for it, I'm not sure why. That's going to be it though, he's going to just straight walk out. Took a little bit more damage. Immediate D-Ward coming out from Puppey. Oh, he's looking for the D-Ward. Didn't find it, so that's 100 gold damage, right?
Yeah, nice warding by Mouse there. Usually people like to place it like right here, just for vision up the hill or over here. But that T2 is down right now, and they know that, and they can place a ward a little bit differently now. So the wards will stick up for Mouse, and that's going to be a good boost for them.
So the thing we haven't really talked about is...
Oh, watch Veda in the middle.
Yeah, they're going to be jumping in. Black Dragon being a little bit entangled as well. Looks like Dendi looking for an RP, but not finding one without Blink Dagger. I was looking at the courier as what is delivering to Gyrocopter. It's going to be a Yasha. So Yasha, of course, normally talking about the movement speed and how it's nice for teamfight and all. It's a great farming item as well, especially in conjunction with Helm of Dominator. You could basically rise to jungle all day, basically without fear of anything. Back in the mid lane, though, Denny's going to lift it. Rainy Rift's going to have to follow, dude. The orb's going to hit as well. Denny's low, but he's looking for the RP himself. He used RP, used the teleport scroll, and will try to walk out, and the attacks up the hill will not miss. So Mouseport got to kill through the RP, and even got a teleport scroll out of the equation. So that's pretty nice gain here for them.
And yeah, oh, looks like Quickboy will go on Havos up top.
Yeah, I don't think Koifa should be in any trouble. He's gonna be going for the move speed build himself. A little bit behind Havos in terms of raw farm, but his allies are doing a ton more. And the early game pressure continues as here comes Zhou with his creeps on the mid lane. Fada blowing away all those treants, and the push now resumed. Big Illuminate will hit 3 heroes. Blink Dagger is now up on Fada, and this one should fall really shortly after.
Yeah, it's really important for Puppey to be able to spam these Illuminates out. Looks like he will find Havos up that hill, though. They do not have Glyph, and looks like this T1 may go down.
Yeah, the Blink Dagger being delivered on the courier, Black in position as well. Shackle Shot will not latch onto 2. One thing they got to be somewhat careful about is the huge damage output that is Omni Slash. Rainy Rift comes out, the Orb comes through as well. Then looking for the Skewer. He doesn't have the RP, but despite that, playing very aggressive. Courier trying to get sniped by Funnick. And let's see if he's going to find the snipe. Shadow Blade into right click. Team's got to be a little bit more careful than that because it's just so obvious. Oh, back in the mid lane here. Havos gonna get picked off. Nice Rainy Rift. Like you talked about, if he doesn't have the access into spin, he's a very squishy agility hero. And Fada took full advantage of that.
Then he will find a haste on top, though. That may lead up to an RP, but I do not think they want to take a fight without Blink on Magnus and without Juggernaut up.
Some early drums activation. They're gonna just come right and blow up that creep wave. Really want this tier 1 tower. That's gonna open up the map further for the ganks to come. And they are gonna get the last hit on Koifa. Very nicely done. Where's Dendi? Dendi's just farming up top. He will have RP in about 5-6 seconds. Just a little bit too late. And multiple teleport goes on the bot lane, trying to set up a kill. If they get this on Funnick, it will be pretty good. Funnick does have the Midas on cooldown as well. That would be a big win if they kill him now.
Yeah, Funnick is looking really nice. We haven't seen him all game, but 14 minutes in with Hand of Midas and Shadow Blade at 700 gold, that's a pretty good farm for a Nature's Prophet, especially when he has to split the jungle with his supports.
Yeah, Funnick gonna pop out Invis. A little bit nice hit here against him. So again, passive play looks like they're gonna use recall. They want Black. RP is gonna hit Skewer backward easy. Does he even need a Skewer backward? In fact, they will. Hand of God comes in to teleport forward though. Funnick is going to secure the retreat path, and then you're going to get the kill. I love it when teams use their recall globally offensively, and that's exactly what PSP did. Use it for a big gank, now transition to push. RP being used like that, not a big deal at all, considering that you got to kill on Black, which is definitely the most important member of Mouseport right now.
Yeah, Black has a whopping 123 last assist right now.
Yeah, his net worth well over. Look at the next highest in the entire game. It's the Nature's Prophet, and he's down about 2,000 gold. Maybe a little bit more now with Tier 1 tower being sieged. Tier 1 tower on the bot lane, though, went down as well. And right now, the Blink Dagger, I harped on it being how important it was. They got the kill on the Juggernaut on the mid lane. I'd like to see him do a little bit more. Maybe looking for Puppey, maybe looking for Funnick as well as Kuroki, and get those kills there. Tier 2 gonna get siege on the bot lane. Koifa in position to start defending this one, and so is Black. So they will slowly push this one back out, and Black should have access into zone jungle and start farming there as well.
Yeah, there's not really any pressure for either team. Both of them have like pretty good late game, especially with Funny getting off to the good start. He will transition very well into the late game. It looks like they are looking for Chen up top.
Oh, Zizao caught long way from home without a teleport scroll. He's gonna eat an Omni Slash to his face. Maybe not even just a spin in the face should do the job. And a power shot from Kuroki to seal the deal. Kind of a misplay here from Zizao, getting really far cut out. You cannot give away these free kills. The game is so even at this point, and any kind of momentum shift could be dangerous for both teams.
Yep, and looking at the graph right now, it's been everywhere in terms of the XP graph. First in favor of Mouse now, and slightly in favor of Navi, and then the gold graph still around 2,500 in favor of Mouse. They do have a few more towers down, 3 down on the side of Team Mouse, and Navi has only taken down the T1 on bottom lane.
Yeah, I think the gold graph will start to shift a little bit. If you see
Kurogi?
that, oh, Kuroki up top is gonna get the final pick off, and this is what I mean. Fada, free kills everywhere. It's just free gold all over the map. But if you want to talk about the gold graph, look at Black. All dragon stacks. Holy crap! This is gonna find himself at least 1,000 gold. Koifa is gonna join the fun a little bit, as well as Syndra, and gonna soak up a ton of EXP. And that's gonna give his Mantis out if that's what he wants to upgrade, or if you want to go for a different item. Some players like to just get the Yasha simply for the farming and movement speed, but of course a full Manta upgrade is very decent as well.
Yeah, I think Manta's nice here. It will be able to soak up some of the Omni Slash hits and just gives Black a little bit more damage. So we'll see them smoke up, and we will see Nyx hop inside a puck.
I see these kind of random drums activation. I imagine that was a misclick. If they could find 1 or even 2 kill here, that would be absolutely huge. I'm not sure if they saw Havos running by. The orb's gonna check. And nobody really know what's happening, so they should now know that Navi is somewhere on the mid lane. The creep is gonna start seeing them. They are gonna do a big backstab, and I imagine Dendi's gonna have to be the first big target. They see him right there, and the jump on top, the coil have to be used, and look at the damage output. Dendi try to stir upwards. He will get the skewer. He will live and TP out. Meanwhile, on the back line though, looks like nice shackle shot being stolen by Syndra and gonna get 1 kill. I really think that they should have got Dendi. Just a little bit of damage lacking there, but they're gonna try to transition into a tier 2 push.
Yeah, maybe need to save that drum charge for that.
Yeah, definitely. Tier 2 is gonna get slowly siege upon Puppey, trying to hide from multiple angles. And Dendi is gonna be back with the RP and Mask of Madness. A little bit of old school build, I want to say old school Magnus like Dota 1 days. And if you can find a big one here, that could be huge. Big RP, Mask of Madness, skewer right click, the deeps are high, double kill immediately coming out of nowhere. And there goes your push, man. And the Chan army is going to get Massacre as well. Big play here from Na'Vi.
Someone took out the Radiant.
Wow,
Courier.
And the courier by
yeah.
Funnick. Man.
Goodness.
I think these courier kills are really keeping them in game right now because they don't really have tower. And it looks like they're going to straight go into the Roshan. If they get this Aegis, Na'Vi is fully ahead despite whatever the gold graph would say. And I think they're going to get it uncontested because Koifa is going to be dead for a long time. Coil is down for Fada for a bit as well. And this Mask of Madness allowing them to do really this Roshan very, very quickly. I like it.
Mouse is not in a position to defend it right now. Black is trying to contest there. He does have his BKB completed.
Ooh, maybe the sight of Black himself will just scare them away. Here comes Fada as well. Havos is going to drop the Omni Slash. BKB will not help against that. Hanagai will come in. Omni Slash being stolen by Synderen. And Havos is going to try to run out there. Shackle shot will hit. Meanwhile, the Roshan, I'm not sure exactly how low it is. It is low enough for Black and his team to run back in. What a turn of the tide here for Mouseport. If they get this one, will be huge. Tree being summoned for a little bit of extra sight. Will Dendi... Oh, look at how low everybody is. They're so low right now. If Dendi wants to actually blink back in, blink in here against Funnick. Funnick's going to get 1 kill, but he's going to pay with his life. Kuroki, power shot's going to get the kill as well. Black fighting just about everybody. Kuroki's also going to drop down. Puppey's also low. Puppey's Illuminate. Illuminate's going to hit, and Puppey's going to get a kill on the carry, but he will also pay with it with his life. But I think this is okay. Meanwhile, Dendi's just doing his own thing up the cliff. Is he gonna go for the steal? The courier is giving sight right now, and Mouseport gotta know. Look at Fada getting bashed right now. Fada trying to get the kill. Skewer, nice face dodge. He's gonna go for the courier kill. He's gonna TP out just fine. And I think finally Na'Vi will get this Roshan. This is like one of the longest Roshan fight I've seen in a long while. And Na'Vi will find this courier. What plays here from both teams?
Yeah, I expected Dendi to come in there earlier, but it looks like they will secure Roshan in the end. These supports for Na'Vi seem to be pretty difficult to kill. Keeping the Light already has this Ghost Scepter, just skipping everything in favor of Ghost Scepter minus the brown boots. And Windrunner already with that natural physical evasion with the Windrun should be... again, Nyx and Gyro should have not too easy of a time for them, so I think that's actually a really big deal. And as opposed to Chen, who just keeps dying over and over again, he's 0-4, and not even having his mech completed really hurts their team.
I'm a little bit surprised that they gave the Aegis to Havos, because the way that Mouseport likes to start these team fight is by focusing on Dendi quick, removing his presence in the team fight, and then just go for the big team fight victory by chasing them down. But if you had Aegis on Dendi, then suddenly that game plan is out of position, and it's really difficult for Mousesport to fight teamfight like that. But they value Havol's second life a little bit more, or perhaps they have confidence in Dendi surviving that initiation. Speaking of initiation, looks like the Satyr is going to be picked off. Meanwhile, though, tier 2 pressure up top. As well as a little bit tier 2 pressure up mid as Omni Slash is going to clean off a Chen. Chen somehow caught out without army nearby. Generally, Omni Slash is not too effective against Chen. Glyph is going to force out on the tier 2 on the tower. And should be able to defend this, especially with Fada coming back rather soon. Koifa in position as well. There's a TP coming up from... They gotta kill that healing ward. Blink upwards on the high ground. The Dreamcore a little bit too slow. They're now gonna focus on Puppy, but Denny's gonna come back in. That's gonna be a 2-man RP, but is this stolen? Yes, it is! Cinderin's gonna drop an RP himself. They blow away the Aegis immediately. What a turnaround here by Cinderin. And now Havosu come back alive. They want Kuroki a little bit more. The Illuminate's gonna fire through. Kuroki's gonna try to TP out, but the damage is simply too much. Double kill, and I gotta say, Cinderin, huge MVP play out of that team fight.
Yeah, I mean, he's having some really good steal this game too. First we saw that Shackle on Kuroki, and now this RP steal and the Omni Slash.
Yeah.
Right. So he's just doing really well on Rubik right now.
He's gonna list Cinder and throw him down the low ground as well. Koifa's gonna come around. That's gonna force out a little bit of spin action here. Well, Mousesport holding to a comfortable lead despite the Aegis earlier, the fiasco you would call it. You can see Black now up to another 2,500 gold. A quick Manta and a BKB. This is some of the scariest mid-game Gyro we've seen. And after that, he could go wherever he wants, whether by upgrading the Satanic, maybe add an MKB in the middle of it, and also for the late game extension of Divine Rapier. This wasn't the 078 Gyrocopter that we saw yesterday from Black. This is a totally different story right now.
I'm just glad they found a little bit more to do early game with the Chen, and now they're actually like keeping up with Ancient Sec as well. We saw that Quad Dragon, so they're really just playing around, excuse me, around Black much better than they were before.
Yeah, and also the effectiveness of Fada in the mid lane. I think yesterday when we saw him having one of the latest Blink Dagger as possible, today early Blink, very effective in the team fights. And good at chasing down heroes as well. So, Navi, they're down, they're not out. Because when you have Nature's Prophet, you could definitely go late. Especially when you're going for somewhat of a carry build on Magnus. Look at him, he's going for crits. So, I think Dendi is probably the only player that kind of goes outside from the completely vanilla, you know, the Arcane Blink into Refresher. Sometimes you add a BKB or drums on top of that. What do you think about the old school carry Magnus? You think it has a place in the current metagame right now?
I don't think he needs to go. I mean, I think it has its place, its time and its place, but I don't think that's now. Just because Denny's such a high priority target for Mouse. I mean, half the time you're going to get the jump on Mouse, and half the time Mouse is going to get the jump on Navi. And if they get the jump on Dendi, he's almost certainly going to die, especially with these items. Mask of Madness is around 2,000 gold, and the Broadsword and Blades of Attack is around like another 1,700. So that's almost a BKB right there. And he needs to be able to get out of the silence, get out of the Dream Coil, get out of the open wounds, or telekinesis, or all these disables that Mouse has, and just be able to land RP. Because I mean, look at their team fight. They really don't have that much except for Illuminate and RP, and really RP just sets everything up just so that Havos can Omni Slash, and just so that Keeper Light can channels Illuminate to clear all the creeps for Omni Slash. And you know, Furion's not that good at doing stuff, and Windrunner is a support role. So I think they're almost all their team fight revolves around it. It's not like a last game where we saw double forms of initiation. There's no like Bat Rider, there's no like additional forms of initiation from Glimpse or Static Storm Kinetic Field from Kuroki's disrupted last game. So it's all on Dendi.
Yeah, unless Kuroki finds a magical 2-man Shackle Shot, which is not something you could really count on. Yeah, it's really gonna be up to Dendi alone. I guess maybe an argument for the carry build that he's going for is that Juggernaut by himself, I'm not sure whether he can go for the full carry, especially when he's a full tier 4 item behind Black. Black's got a BKB over whatever Havos got right now. They have similar amount of goals, so maybe Dendi is... he needs to lift his team right now, so we'll see. It will work out. The goal difference is starting to get higher and higher. Keep in mind that Navi's got 2 courier kills, and that's at least like close to, you know, 1.5 tower, but Black and his team's got a ton of neutral kills, and that's really keeping them ahead right now.
Yep, and I mean, Furion can fill that role nicely too, especially with Empower. I think he can transition fairly well into that right clicker that they may need late game. Yeah, Juggernaut isn't the best with items, and looks like he is rather poor compared to it, but I don't think it's Magnus's role to sort of fill that right click damage slot. But He could prove me wrong.
Yeah, we'll see. Dendy's definitely done this in the past, and to kind of mixed results. We'll see whether he's going to have the successful one here today. I imagine Havos is going to be looking for the MKB, or excuse me, Manta. Any other kind of item transition? Do you think maybe he'll go for something like a Butterfly a little bit later on, or it's going to be a straight Manta build?
I think it's probably straight Manta. Most gyrocopters like to pick up a MKB rather early, so even if he does get a Butterfly, he's just going to have like almost no HP. Look at his AP right now, 1252, and if he picks up Butterfly right now, he's still going to be at 1252 because it gives no HP and almost no survivability against
MKB.
Gyrocopter with MKB. And, I mean, Lifestealer can pick that up too. We haven't really talked about him that much. But he has Phase Drums, Armlet, and well on his way to Hyperstone too. So he's looking pretty nicely in the terms of farm.
Yeah, Soul Curious will be a nice addition here to the damage potential of Malsport. Not only does minus armor kind of interact favorably against the mech, really would increase Black's overall damage output as well. Speaking of Black, looks like Go has been spent, and the courier is going to be coming in here. It looks like a Blood Griller and a straight Eagle Song, so he is going to be going for a Butterfly. Interesting here. I almost thought it was going to be a full Manta style.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's not actually bad at all, the Butterfly build for Black, just because they don't really have that much physical damage on Navi right now. We talked about Magnus going the physical damage up, but he doesn't have that much physical damage. Juggernaut a little bit under farm compared to the Gyrocopter, and Nature's Prophet looks like he's going for a Sheep, so they don't really have anything to deal with it. And Havos will just look like he'll spin TP to safety.
Yeah, he will. He will make it home. Roshan, by the way, back in about 5 minutes or so. Missed jump here by Malsport. They're going to turn back and keep on farming. This is where the Malsport that we're more used to. They grab themselves a comfortable lead, and they will slowly build upon that one. And Black is one of the scariest players to go up against. He rarely chokes in the late game, and what I mean by choke, like, he doesn't miss BKB. He like doesn't like go out of nowhere, gets picked off, or don't have a teleport score like that. When you beat Malsport in the late game, you generally beat them by having an overwhelming gold advantage, and so far Na'Vi doesn't have that, so they have to make it up by play. And Navi's definitely a team that could do it, but it's going to be tough against Black.
Yeah, and Puck almost has his Sheep too, so only about 800 gold away from that. So he's looking pretty scary. Once he gets that Blink Sheep initiate, that's almost one hero certainly dead for Na'Vi, especially if they have the Nakes inside.
Yeah, and that goes back to Dendy, for example, needing that BKB. I think he is still remaining to be the prime target. It doesn't matter how big this Juggernaut is. It doesn't matter how big the Nature Prophet is. As long as they pick off Dendy, they win fights. Black on the top lane, he should be absolutely fine with the BKB, although Sprout... maybe it's the answer against that Shackle shot. That no BKB there. Power shot's going to come through as well. They want to chase him down, but perhaps a little bit of counter initiation. Havos could actually spin away from that. That's going to be a 2-man RP. And here comes the Mask of Madness right click. They're going to get a double kill so far. No, nice Koifa dodging into the creep. He's going to try to run away. Meanwhile, what is it being stolen? Just a shockwave. Havos is going to come right in strong and fast. He's going to get lifted up. Koifa's going to get sent back. He has to TP back in the fight immediately. Dendy's chasing Fada away. Fada doesn't have any mana left. Nicely let being done. Shockwave is going to miss right there as well. Dendy's still looking for more. He sees Zizov. Zizov's also going to get picked off. Worse Koifa. Double kill here with Illuminate. Fada getting a little bit blindside there. And the RP.
And another courier kill too.
Another courier kill? That's the third in the game. Wow. Well, yeah, so I think Dendy's making a...
getting caught out right there.
Yeah, and Dendy making a very strong case for that Mask of Madness build. He's not getting caught out, so all the damage potential being provided by MON is fully realized on the Malsport team.
Yeah, Gyrocopter had his BKB up too. I think he was just really close to his Butterfly and really wanted to farm it. I mean, he was close to this T1, but that's just very costly for Mouse, ending up in a 4-1 exchange, I think, and 2 towers, and that is not good, especially with Roshan coming up in a couple of minutes.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
So it looks like
oh, sorry, my mic was off for the past minute or so. I went to close my window because neighbor's dog is quite annoying. What were you trying to say, Merlini?
I mean, yeah, very unusual for Black to be caught out of position there. I was talking about how he was very close to his butterfly. He thought he was safe under his T1 tower, but really with nobody there and his BKB not popped, it was just a very devastating fight for them. Looks like the gold graph has dipped heavily in favor of there. That was almost like a 5,000 gold swing.
Yeah.
With those two towers riding on top of that team. I think that was a 4-1 exchange, and Roshan will be up pretty soon. And Navi is finding themselves in a position very nicely to set themselves up for the next Roshan.
But here's the thing, as uneven of a team fight it was for Mousesport, it could go completely the other way. You talk about half the time Navi's gonna get the jump, and it's gonna be miraculous RPs, and then the damage follows through, and it's gonna be easy team fights. But the same scenario could happen otherwise. If you get a Blink Scythe on Dendi, suddenly Navi is looking like a squad of duckies trying to run away, and it's hard to run from a Lifestealer, a Puck, and a Gyrocopter that's got a Yasha, so it could completely go the either way. And right now it seems like Mousesport trying to force that one fight. They gotta find a key pickoff, whether it's gonna be Havos. Havos, this Juggernaut pickup seems to be making more and more sense. He is just caught on multiple times, but he doesn't die. Spin TP is just making him invulnerable for most cases. They will find Puppey, but this is not really a prize skill in any sorts by any means, and they're gonna take a while to kill him down. You can't really push a tower, for example. They will find Dendi though. This is the target. He doesn't have BKB. He will try to skewer out of it. Is there any kind of follow-up? Blink Dagger cooling down in about 1 second. Blink, Illuminate, but he will also blink away. And Dendi, again, despite lacking the magical immunity, will just be fine.
And we see Havos have an MKB in his inventory, so even before Black picks up his butterfly, but it's very obvious what he's going with that Eagle Song. We'll see additional damage out from him. I think it is really important for him to pick up additional damage, just because we've seen an Omni Slash Gyrocopter a couple times, but just not have enough damage to take him down. And without that Manta coming out from Black, he is very susceptible to that.
Yeah, and that's not without any chain creeps to win the question, or Hand of God has been used to kind of save him. Oh, Fada and Funnick. Is Funnick a little bit AFK? No, he's okay. Speaking of Nature's Prophet, he's got his own Scythe of Ice, so that's kind of another big thing that we haven't really been touching upon. And, the race to the Scythe Stick, Navi's winning this one. Fada a little bit slow on his, because of that last team fight. And these kind of late game acquisition items is really propelling Navi step further. The Roshan, though, will be the biggest determinant of this game.
Yeah, and yeah, that fight on team fight just really set Mouse Black far, and Fada. Like, he's still really far away from his butterfly and the sheep, and those are just really important item pick, because that was delayed by nearly 5 minutes, I want to say.
Yeah, it definitely has been. I'm not too sure whether he bought back in the middle team fight. I don't think he has. Koifa now finishes the AC. So that's going to be a big addition to the team as well. I think Mousesport, really, they want to play it slow, but they can't, because now the Roshan's going to be happening, and that's almost going to have to force a fight. But I don't think they're even going to make it there in time because of the damage output of Na'Vi. The crits are coming out fast and strong. And that's it. The Rosh is going to go to, I imagine, Dendi now? Or no, Havol's going to pick it up another time.
Yeah, and I think Juggernaut has almost caught back up in terms of farm. He's still a few thousand behind Gyrocopter, but I mean, nowhere close to the gap before.
Yeah, and Na'Vi now with the Aegis, they could start pushing a little bit more aggressively, and they're gonna start probably looking for the last tier 2. Tier 2, by the way, has 97 HP. I'm surprised that the Radiant team haven't just denied it just yet, and start looking for, if they find 2 or 3 man pickoffs right now, the Rax is gone. So Na'Vi could be looking to chill sweep Mousesport right now. Looks like the team is smoked up. Windrunner will be found. They're going to start on Puppey once again. Puppey will have the Ghost Scepter, pops his mech, trying to survive as long as possible. Dendi comes in. RP gets canceled. Is it stolen? Not exactly too sure what happened there. Dendi gets lifted, but everybody's running for their life. Havos on the backlines will get a kill on Zizou immediately. Dendi still has the RP. No, he whips it completely, being forced his hand. And looks like Mousesport is winning the team fight. 3-for-1 exchange so far. And Havos, I think he's going to die twice here. Aegis does not matter. I think he's going to get lifted as well. Immediate lift. And look at how squishy he actually is. Being focused by 3 or 4. Finally deciding not to join the fight. Trying to push a little bit of pressure up top. But, well, the advantage completely evaporated as quickly as it was gained. Mousesport now back up on top.
That was really crucial team fight for Mouse right there. Had they lost that fight, it would have been almost game over, simply because Black had already spent his money on Butterfly, and that would be almost GG with no buyback coming out from him. And again, Fada really close to his sheep stick. He has 4,400 gold right now, so he should be able to pick it up after he leaves base.
The dire
Yeah, I mean,
hang
because
on to
if
that
if Na'Vi won the team fight, they were so close to the Radiant base, they could have just sieged it. And of course, you got to keep in mind that Funnick was already right at the base, so probably would have got double racks. What's your thought on Dendi not using that RP? I don't think he was canceled anyway. He just canceled it himself. I think he would have only got black. You think that would be good enough an RP? Or
I mean,
you
it's
think...
better than what ended up happening. That's
True,
for sure.
true. I mean, I don't know. It feels like he's relying on those 2-3 man RP a little bit too much. But I feel like if you just get it on Gyro, and if Havos is right there and you pick him off quick, maybe that would be enough. But that
Yeah, I
didn't
think they
end up
need
happening.
Funnick there too. Funnick, they really need that sheep perhaps on Gyro before he pops his BKB, or on the Nakes after Rage, or on the Puck. Like, all those are very nice Scythe of Ice targets, and without that, they just really don't have any way to disrupt Mouse from just crushing Dendi. They focused Dendi like pretty hard, and I think he did have an opportunity for a one-man RP, but again, not having BKB just makes it extremely difficult for him, and it's also gonna be really hard for him to get a refresher too. Being able to refresh BKB is also fairly nice come late game.
And he's basically on the path of no return now. He's gone for the full deep mode. Daedalus fully upgraded, Mask of Menace, so about 1,000 gold in the game. Right now, one of the things that's more difficult for Magnus is to find farm. Sure, he could Shockwave, he could jungle quite well, but he's going to be taking away from, I want to say, Windrunner, because she's definitely a valid semi-carry target at this point in the game, as well as Juggernaut, as well as Nature's Prophet. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, though, speaking of Nature's Prophet, getting caught out here by Fada, as well as a Life Stealer inside of him. And I think with Funnick dying there for about 60 seconds, suddenly you lose all of your map presence in terms of split push. And here comes Mouseport. They want the last tier 2 top.
I feel like that Aegis would have been far better suited to Havos. You talked about how it was going on Havos, but we saw how he used it. He just died and then just immediately died again. There's not really any good use of that. I think it would be better suited on the Magnus, just so if they do focus him down that much, he will still be able to get a good RP, especially with the build that he went. So I think maybe perhaps with this third Roshan, if we go that far, he should pick it up.
Yeah, or maybe he definitely should have to choose one of the Roshan drops. Now, Nature's Prophet is going to buy back, and looks like KuroKy running forward, maybe looking for a Shackle. KuroKy's find himself a
Radiant's mid-tower's coming apart.
Orchid, which is going to be somewhat decent here. A Fada teleporting back. Looks like they're going to
Yeah,
give
it really
up.
just depends on who gets to jump on who.
Yeah, and so, I mean, even though right now the gold graph says it's pretty even, 25,000 goldie for Na'Vi, which is next to it's not even important at all. It really doesn't even matter. Like the gold graph, EXP graph, none of this actually matters. It really just matters who gets to jump on. They see Havos. Scythe? No Scythe just yet. Havos would not TP. Recall is going to get cancelled here by a single physical right click.
Invisibility.
Yep, he does have an invisibility room, but it looks like he's hovering around the Roshan pit. Oh no, he's just picking up his item. Still another 5 minutes until Roshan time, and Juggernaut has picked up his Manta style. So a couple of heroes without buybacks on the side of Na'Vi. Funnick recently just using his, and now that Havos has completed his Manta style, he doesn't have a buyback either.
Havos doing a little bit of solo mission, trying to find a pickoff. Omnislash should be good enough now with MKB and Manta style, but he probably could just pick off Chen. He is going to run past the Sentry Ward, and he is in right now. He's going to give it away. And no, Havos cannot get pick off. Blink, silence. Oh, the silence against Rubik, so he cannot get the lift. Havos will just come out. Look at KuroKy. If he did not get a silence on Cinderin there, Havos was dead. So well played by KuroKy.
And he has a gem to pick up, so very, very nice of him to escape.
Yep. So I think right now Na'Vi is waiting for the next Roshan. Like you said, it's about 5 to 6 minutes away. But I think Na'Vi's definitely got the better Roshan engagement. Well, not exactly the straight up engagement team, but I think they got the better global mobile team. Nature's Prophet will be split pushing, and sooner or later Radiant is gonna have to defend. And when you defend, that's ample enough time for Dire to quickly sneak a Roshan. And let's not forget about recall as well. Same thing with Nature's Prophet. Somebody going to a side lane, getting recall back. So I think right now Mouseport should force something and take away the impending Roshan kill that will go to Na'Vi, in my opinion.
In terms of recent item pickups, we see a gem picked up on Chen, and we see... Oh, wait, is he TPing in?
Yeah,
Oh,
he seems
what
to be
is TPing in.
Yeah, because his allies behind him, so Zizal... Ooh, now it's like Funnick's going to be running, maybe a little bit too getting ahead of himself. Havos a little bit falling behind. Havos, speaking of which, got about 1,000 gold in the bank. You were talking about item upgrades, and there's another big one here on Black, the Satanic, and that's basically his Aegis. As long as he gets to pop his BKB, he's going to get 2 lives.
Yeah, and look at net worth. He is a like 6,000 ahead of Funnick, actually around 5,500, but still huge gold lead for Black right now.
Ooh, the two int heroes gonna be a little bit tango up in top lane. Both of them have Scythe of Ice. Yeah, that goalie. I think Gyrocarter only had like about a measly 2,000 goal lead, but Nature's Prophet had to buy back, and he died once or twice, and suddenly it went the other way. Looks like gonna try to set up a gank here against Fada. But again, two ships crossing at night, nobody sees each other, and that'll be it.
So yeah, looks like Navi is just trying to gain control of the map right now. First Funnick TPing bottom, trying to look for a kill, and now just TPing top. And they're trying to expand their global presence and really use this global teleportation to great effect. And as soon as Mouse splits up, they should be lined up very nicely for a Roshan kill. Still a couple minutes on that though, and looks like Mouse is trying to react with a smoke of their own.
Ooh, trying to look for the Ancients. They will find Dendi. Dendi does not have the BKB. The Scythe will open it up, and Dendi, you will have Skewer, but the Waning Rift, the lift, too quick. And then the BKB are not there, he would have died for sure. Here's the thing though, the split pushing is making it somewhat annoying for Black to actually do kind of any big objective. They have to send 1 or 2 person back to defend these lanes. Black is just going straight down the mid lane, trying to get that very, very important mid-racks.
But Mouse might force the issue at this T3 tower. Dendi has no buyback, so with 50 seconds on Magnus down, they could potentially take much more than a Rax if they decide to base race. But looks like Navi is just trying to go for the gold.
Yeah, they're going to be doing a little bit base race themselves. Havos gets recalled back. Lift is going to be used on both sides, I imagine. I think the Dire is a little bit quicker because they have a AC, the minus armor being a big part of this. It looks like you can see Fada being extremely aggressive going forward. They are going to get 1 Rax. He's buying a teleport scroll in the enemy base. They got the melee Rax, and they will defend their own melee Rax, I believe. You can see Havos is spinning and right-clicking away. Koifa is going to get Hex. He's going to spin TP. Melee Rax is going to get defended. Fada comes forward, gets a 2-man coil off. I think Kuroki is going to be dead for sure. Black gets silenced, but Kuroki is going to be dead. Funnick gets picked off as well. Huge win for Black, not only defending their own racks, getting a big one in the mid lane, and also will be finding a ton of form on both bot and top, as well as their own jungle. And meanwhile, Navi really losing a big one. And suddenly, the Roshan, I talked about the advantage they had, it's gone because of the mid lane constantly pushing in. Navi had to focus at least 1 or 2 heroes there constantly. So Mouthsport putting himself very far ahead in just that one move.
Yeah, and Black is becoming very close to unkillable at this point. He has 2,400 gold, and looks like he is probably going to build maybe an MKB or the Daedalus with that Demon Edge. Or, I mean, it could even be a Rapier. They have, they probably have enough map control right now to take out Roshan, and although he doesn't have a slot for it...
I don't think they're in a position that needs Divine, right? That's more like, oh
Yeah.
man, there's no way we could win. Let's get a Divine and pray for something to happen here. I think he could just get Daedalus or MKB, like you said, and that should be okay. He could even upgrade his Manta if that's what he wants. And so far, they are definitely in a dominant position. Roshan will get scouted out by these 2 Lifesteal Illusions as the spawns. So, Mouseport definitely looking to settle the map control. And right now, here comes a big smoke. When you're behind, smoke. Get something going right now. And I think
So
they're trying to
looks
bait Havos.
Oh yeah, Denny's trying to build a sheep, I suppose? It could be a Shiva's.
Yeah, both of them will be a decent item. I think sheep a little bit more important. And using it to bait Havos, meanwhile knowing that there is a Roshan being attempted. I mean, they gotta ride down the clock, right? They know that it's happening right now.
Yeah, and
This
this
is
will
a-
just be free Roshan, and there's a cheese too. So cheese on Fada and Aegis on Lifesteal. And looks like they're going back to defend, but Black has no TP. He has to just run there right now or get sent home by Chen.
Well, I think send home by chance is probably the easiest choice. You see that Fada providing the lift home by Puck, and they will defend that one. So, an interesting strategical decision being made by Navi to not go for the Roshan challenge. Perhaps the correct one, because maybe they don't think they could win a team fight like that. Ooh, Helking's gonna find himself 1 person. Kuroki, though, Dreamcrow is gonna be onto 2. Kuroki's gonna get picked off very easily. Puppey breaks the last one, and that means he's gonna be dead as well. And I don't think Denji's gonna be rescuing his ally with a big RP of any means. So 2 more free kill being taken, and Black and his team just getting more and more advantage in this game. Abyss Obey is gonna get picked up here by the Lifestealer. And I think that's just one item too many for the Navi team to handle.
Yeah, and right now, like, Na'Vi really doesn't have any chance to win team fights, especially with the Aegis and this recent Abyssal completion and the cheese. Like, they pretty much just have to keep applying split pressure. And they're not in a terrible position right now, even though they are 1 racks down and are down by 9 kills. And this game seems to be going in Mouse's favor, but they're not completely out of it. There is no T3 tower on bottom. The Rax is at half HP, and the T3 tower on top is at 325 HP too. So if they have some nice split pushing action and misdirection, they could potentially get 2 set of wrecks.
Speaking of misdirection, Funnick as well as Havos, look at that, they're down, and they're gonna making one of the biggest gank, Omni Slash coming right through, and Black didn't have the Aegis, gonna go down TP and gonna get Midas. I think Black perhaps made a tiny mistake. He was walking away from his own creep wave, and the Omni Slash, every single hit of it went to him, and he might have survived through that if he didn't do that, and it would have Satanic BKB and lifesteal his way back. Any case though, he will drop, he will have buyback available, but a lot of breeding room from Na'Vi. Great play.
I think he just needs a Manta Style. Manta Style deals very well with Omni Slash, and yeah, I think he could have run back into the cleats. I guess he was just really scared of Funnick right there, or back up behind him. But I mean, BKB alone, BKB didn't do anything for his Omni Slash. So again, he needs either Chen creeps or Manta Style to deal with it.
And here comes the Vos. Is it gonna elicit a buyback coming out from BKB?
Oh, Omni Slash picked up by
that was a
Syndra.
huge mistake by Havos. I mean, I guess the game has been going long and they're more focused on all the other map objective, but you know, Cinder says, alright, I'll try for a steal, and I got myself an Omni, so that's decent.
Yeah, I mean, pretty that or Healing Ward is actually really, really good at this stage in the game. 5%
Sure,
of her HP with like very large life pools, 2,000, almost 2,500 from Black and 2,200 from Lifestealer. That will heal for a ridiculous amount. So it looks like Mouse is in actually a very defensive position right now because Na'Vi picked up a kill on a very prime target that is Black. No Aegis, no cheese, and no buyback right now. So he's
But
actually the most
Top
vulnerable.
lane, top lane. Look at how active Falda and Koifa has been. Mouse is defensive. Maybe they won't be defensive anymore with that kill. I think a little bit more because they realize that if Black somehow gets caught one more time, the game would just be lost. It doesn't matter how far Black is if he doesn't have the buyback on cooldown. So he's got 1,000 go in the bank. It is going to be a MKB upgrade. Meanwhile, top lane is going to be fighting. It looks like Dendy has already dropped a single RP. I was looking away. Koifa, though, down to about half HP. He's going to get blown away. He does have the Aegis. And I'm not sure whether he can fight his way out of this one. He does have Invest available. Raging, running away. The Shiva's Guard and the Omni Slash doing some work. He's going to invest into one of these trees. Well,
Meanwhile, the bottom lane, the Rax is going down, and Na'Vi has to get back right now.
yeah, they're dealing with the Lifestealer, but maybe spending a little bit too much time. They don't have the RP. You got to keep that in mind. Black doesn't have buyback either, but he feels confident enough with this BKB and Satanic. They're going to go for the win right now. Blinding Light not being used just yet. Puppy got to use that Blinding Light. Still on cooldown. Shackle Shot. That's 3.75 seconds of Chain Stun onto 2. But again, where's the follow-up? Havos going to be coming up. The Flat Cannon doing a ton of damage all over the place. Shiva's Guard gets pop here. And Black with the BKB. It's just warding away Dendy. Here comes Havos Illusions as well. Not going to do too much either. Rubik buys back. Fada as well as Zizal still in position. He's trying to do this push. Koifa, where Haspi? Is he coming away? He's finding himself a reach and he's still down the river. Everybody's just all over the place right now. I don't think Black and his team could win at this given moment, especially with BKB down. And I think they should just go back. They already got themselves a melee Rax. They done some fatal damage to that tier 4 tower. And they just need to wait for BKB to come off a cooldown, group up, and just go again. Or maybe they want to say, you know what? RP's down. Let's go for the win. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, and Funnick bought back and died again, so he doesn't have buyback for 3.5 minutes. So it's going to be 4-on-5 at best for Na'Vi, and especially with RP down, they're looks like they're in a very precarious position. RP is up in about 5 seconds though, and Black, let's check his buyback status. Still 2 minutes on that.
Yeah, you can see Koifa just man-mulling up right now. I'm looking at Dendy. He's not coming out. Look at the split coming out from Black. Dendy blinks forward. That's going to find himself a 2-3-man RP, but these members are not exactly too important because Black's not being caught, and Black is in the center. Koifa focusing on the throne. Black now rejoining. There's a buyback. Nice Shackle Shot coming on Kuroki, but it's just, these heroics are just too little, too late. Black is winning that man fight. Koifa not even joining the fight because the throne is the bigger objective. The series now will even 1 apiece. This has been an exciting game too. And boy, Mouse Black, too strong, too powerful, too big at the end. He's Merlini, I'm Luminous. We're going to be back with Game 3, but man, what an exciting finish to Game 2. Any final thoughts before we kind of skip to commercials real fast, Merlini?
That was a pretty good game, and I'm just glad to see them actually put out a lot of early game pressure. That's exactly
Yeah.
what Mouse needs to do, because if Navi does it, Mouse is almost certainly going to lose unless they counter it with their own. So I hope to see some more early game aggression from them.
Great draft from Cinderin, great recovery in terms of strategical play, and we're gonna go to game 3 with that. Don't go anywhere, guys. You don't want to miss game 3.